Hello, welcome back to another Naughty Lightning Talk. This week we are going to talk about how can we create an stunning animated website with GSAP and Barba and ScrollMagic. So the first thing is, what is GSAP? GSAP is a HTML5 JavaScript animation built for professionals that it's crazy fast, it's really robust, compatible, lightweight, expandable, it doesn't have dependencies, and you can create advanced sequences. So, what is an interesting fact about GSAP? With GSAP, you can create amazing animations to any HTML element, and also you can manipulate properties in SVGs, React, Canvas, generic objects, whatever, and you can solve a lot of browser inconsistencies. And the best of all of this is it's about 20 times faster than jQuery. So this is really good for performance. So how can you start using GSAP? Well, you need to download the library in the GSAP website, and you will find this green button where you can download the files of GSAP. So there are like four folders in the zip that you are going to download, and you need to choose what fits better for your project. For instance, if you are using NPM models, probably you will use the SCM libraries because they are ready to build and to be included in your NPM structures. But if you are going to integrate this in a legacy project or maybe on a WordPress project, you probably would want to use the minified versions. So how can you start this? First, you need to create a tween. A tween is an animation. So you can animate anything that you want in your HTML file. So for instance, a selector, it could be an SVG, an ID of an element in the website, or it could be a class or jQuery object also. So, and you can animate CSS values, or you can also animate some properties that are like built in GSAP. For instance, scale, rotation, and things that are not completely support from CSS. So this is the way that you create a tween with GSAP 3. So you have to select an element, and you have to pass a JavaScript object with the properties that you are going to animate. Second, you need to create a timeline. What is a timeline? You probably will want to control the animation in some time. You will want to control the animation. So that's why you are going to create a timeline. This way you can reverse the animation, pause the animation, seek for a specific time into the animation. So this can help you to debug your animation, and also you can chain different animations. So in the other slide, you are going to see how can you create a timeline and a tween. So let's play with this. As you can see, this code pen, it's ready to start playing with GSAP. So we are going to play it right here with GSAP. So as you can see, we have an H1 and a paragraph in this example. So I will use GSAP 2 to create a tween. So I will modify the position of the title to show you how easy it's to play with GSAP. So let's create a tween with GSAP 2. So remember, the first thing that we need is the selector. So you can select an H1 if you want, and we are going to modify some properties of the object. So I will modify the X position of the element, and I will move by 100. So I can create, so now, right now we have like the tween ready to run. So let's do it. As you can see, the title was animated 100 pixels to the right. So also we can set up like another animation, like we can also move the y-axis if you want. So I will move the y-axis for 50. As you can see, it's pretty easy to animate the properties of a HTML element. So also we can set up like the duration of the animation. So I will put this animation have to happen in 3 seconds. It's really easy. So this way you can create, this is a tween, but probably you want to use this tween in a timeline in order to be able to revert the animation or to reverse the animation without having you to create another animation to revert this movement. So I will create a timeline. With GSAP timeline. So I will add the tween to this timeline. So I will set up a callback into the first tween to reverse the animation when the animation is completed. So let's do it. You can set up a callback here, and we are going to call timeline, but let me pass the timeline first. So I will call the timeline, and I will reverse the timeline. So what is going to happen? Pretty cool. So that's it. That is GSAP. So you can create a lot of stunning animations for your website. So you can control the timeline, you can control the duration, you can control the speed, you can control everything that you want. So also with GSAP you can add easing functions to create like more physical movement. So that's GSAP. What is Barba.js? Barba.js is a small library that helps you creating fluid and smooth transitions between your website pages. Barba use intersection observer in order to prefetch your links in order to avoid users to wait for page loads. So this is a really good way to implement a highly animated website that needs to be preloaded before the user click in some page or some link. So also Barba.js can handle different transitions for your website. If you need some transition when you click on the menu, and you need another transition when you click in other link, maybe in the footer, on the content, you can do or perform another transition. And also you will using Ajax without using JavaScript. You are not going to write JavaScript. Barba is going to handle all of this for you. So how can you start using Barba? Well, you can download the library. You can use npm install if you want, or you can add the Barba core in your head or your body, depending on your needs. So how can you start using it? You have to write a function to call the InitPara function that will allow you to set up an animation for when the page it's leaving, or when the page is going to be unloaded. You can perform a transitions for the exiting pages, and you can perform also an entering transition for your next pages. So the next step is to put the required Barba tags or attributes for your HTML. So you have to add that Barba wrapper in your body, because that it's going to tell Barba that your body it's not going to change. So maybe you can add the header or the menu inside the body with these attributes, and that menu will be preserved between page transitions. And you need to add like a div or a main tag with the attribute data Barba container that will tell Barba that this is the div where the dynamic content is going to be replaced. So, and that's it. If you put these tags in your page, you can start prefetching and using this amazing library. So the last library is ScrollMagic. ScrollMagic helps you to easily react to the user's current scroll position. So this library is used to animate it based on scroll position, toggle CSS classes of elements, and in creating parallax effects without effort. So how can you use ScrollMagic? Just download the library and add it to your scripts. And that's it. That is how you can mix ScrollMagic and GSAP. For instance, in this code timeline, this function apply mask and binds to scroll. It's creating a GSAP timeline. So you can hook this timeline to be triggered when the ScrollMagic detect that the element entered to the viewport. So it's pretty easy. Trigger element, it could be a HTML element or a jQuery selector if you want. Trigger hook, it's when you want your animation will be triggered when the HTML element appears in the page, or when it's leaving of the page, or when it's in the middle. So you have to choose the trigger that you want. And also you can set up if you want to reverse the animation if the user return or scroll up the page. And add to, it's the ScrollMagic controller, that it's the function that it's listening for the scroll behavior. So that's it. Thank you for listening, and let me show you a little example of the things that you can do with Barba and GSAP and ScrollMagic. As you can see, it's pretty powerful. So you can control how the elements it's going to appear on the page. So it's pretty good. So thank you and see you in the other next week lightning talk.